Good evening. This is a hell of a show and a great way to start a career, and I wish it had existed when I was starting. Von Aaron Hughes lives in Denver, Colorado with his wife and 3 children. Aaron read science fiction and fantasy during law school so that he could retain the ability to speak in a language other than legalese. He has practiced law for 20 years, and he's already had success in writing, as he wrote 2 cases in the U.S. Supreme Court. In his story of intolerance and genocide, The Dualist, nice pun, a human envoy finds himself caught in a bloody religious war between 2 alien cultures, neither of which he can understand. It was his first submission to the Writers of the Future contest. Please congratulate Von Aaron Hughes.
It says applause on the teleprompter, so be ready. Thank you very much. I want to thank some of the people who made it possible for me to be here tonight. Beginning with my family, my wife Beth, my oldest son Griffin, who is a more talented writer than I am, my daughter Kira, my princess and now my fellow avid reader, and my youngest son Noah. The force is strong in that one. Also my parents, my sisters, my in-laws, the Stapps, the Trenholms, and all my other friends and family who have been so supportive of my writing. I want to thank the members of the Denver Science Fiction and Fantasy Book Club, the Northern Colorado Writers Workshop, and all the good folks at the Denver office of Dorsey and Whitney. Also Jason Johnson and Paolo Bacigalupi for their thoughts and encouragement when I was writing my winning story. I also want to express gratitude to the memory of L. Ron Hubbard for creating this contest, to Joni Labaki and everyone at Author Services and Galaxy Press who do such a fabulous job with this contest and with this anthology. I want to thank Tim Powers, Katie Wentworth, and all the judges and guest lecturers who have made this week such an amazing experience. And for the same reason, I want to thank all of my fellow winners. After what you've been seeing tonight, I think this is probably stating the obvious, but in addition to being extremely talented, they are also just a really nice group of people, and I will take a lot of pleasure in seeing their future successes. I want to thank, in particular, out of that group, Ryan Harvey, that's the guy with the hat, for putting up with my snoring all week. And Freddie Edwards, who illustrated my story. He took this weird, vaguely formed idea in my head and made it real. And I'm going to take his illustration and put it up on my wall, and I will never, ever take it down. Most of all, I want to thank all of you, everyone who's here tonight, everyone watching on the internet, everyone who got dressed up and came down and is acting like this is a big deal. Because to me, and I think to my fellow winners, it is a big deal. I've been a reader my whole life, and when other kids were idolizing the quarterback on the football team, that's how I idolized Isaac Asimov and Ursula Le Guin. And I always had a difficult time wrapping my mind around the idea that the stories and the characters that were so significant to me, that there were people who seem like ordinary men and women who created those. And even to this day, there's a part of me that finds it difficult to believe that there is no such place as Arrakis or Omelas or Ringworld, that there is no such person as Charlie Gordon or Tyrion Lannister or Christian Harrelson. Maybe some of you remember Christian Harrelson. He was a very talented musician. He was ordered not to create music, but he did. He went into a bar and he went up to the rickety out-of-tune piano in the corner and he started to play, and it was amazing. But then they came in and they made him stop, and they cut off his fingers so he could never do it again. And I was there. I saw it happen, except that it didn't happen. What actually happened is there's this guy, and he has a fancy-sounding name, but his friends call him Scott, and Scott sat down at a keyboard and he made that up. He just made it up. And that's incredible to me. And I never believed that I could do that I could just make up stories that would be meaningful to other people. And I'm not sure still that I believe that, but I have this thing, this physical object, and it's solid, and it says right on it, it says, Writers of the Future. So for the rest of my life, even if I never finish another story, let alone have it published and read by other people, I'll have this tangible evidence that for one day, I was a writer too. And I don't think I can really convey to all of you how much that means to me. All I can say is thank you very much.
I'm really proud to be part of this big deal. It's been a pleasure to be part of the panel of the most august judges, illustrator judges on the planet. There's nothing like this anywhere. So we should all be proud of L. Ron Hubbard, Author Services, and all the folks that give so much time to keep this happening. It's been 20-something years. Now, one of our illustrators, Frederick Edwards from Tucson, Arizona, resisted becoming an artist for a long time, but his path was clear. He eventually received a BFA in illustration from the University of Arizona, and by that time, he was a combat veteran, had 2 children, and was working with the developmentally disabled. Now he lives in Virginia with his 2 children, where he's pursuing his master's in education. His vivid, surrealistic style was a natural fit for the Dualist. Please congratulate Frederick Edwards.
You have to forgive me, my heart's beating like 1,000 times a minute, but for a while now, I haven't been quite motivated to do anything. But after this week of workshops and being around these amazing illustrators, I feel revitalized and ready to create. And special thanks to the facilitators, Cliff Nielsen, Stephen Hickman, Ron and Val Linden. Your message transcends art, and that really meant a lot to me, and I thank you. And of course to L. Ron Hubbard and Galaxy Press, Author Services, and everyone associated with the contest. And my family, thank you, Dad, Liz, and my daughter Kitty, and to those at home, Bella, Sean, Jacob, Kayla, and my son Geitska. Thank you.